Hello everyone, Mehdi for Tokyo Alpha Mine. So today we're going to see 4 reasons why Alibaba is going to dominate the China AI and why they are definitely the best positioned Chinese company to benefit from the AI trend in China but also around the world. So let's get started. So I think that all of you knows about Alibaba and the fact that they have this incredible e-commerce platform in China. But maybe not all of you knows about Alibaba and especially their cloud business in China and how they're going to continue to dominate in terms of AI. And so before we get into Alibaba, I think it's very important we actually deep dive into the US market and who are the ones who are benefiting from AI in the US market. So first, we have companies like NVIDIA who are making chips for AI and who are going to provide the tools for compute for a lot of different companies. What Alibaba is not one of them, obviously. So the version in China is maybe more SMIC or like Huawei, for example. But what we can see for sure is that companies like the hyperscalers like Microsoft, Amazon, Google, and to some extent Meta, they are benefiting a lot from this new AI trend because a lot of companies, they need compute for having these AI workloads that are improving their business and optimizing their margin. And so we are going to see the same in China. And so here there are 2 things. There is the cloud infrastructures that is provided by Alibaba. So Alibaba is the main player in China for cloud infrastructures. And the second is actually AI infrastructures. So providing the tools to actually enable a lot of different companies to use AI into their own business. And so what we are seeing today is that Alibaba has been a dominant cloud player, but they are even more dominant in terms of AI workload in China. They are providing a whole ecosystem to a lot of different companies to use AI or even to start companies with AI. And so definitely the approach that Alibaba has taken, especially with the open source approach, so in China, is enabling a lot of different companies to leverage their models and to leverage their infrastructures and to go into Alibaba Cloud. So this is actually a huge advantage for Alibaba, and we are going to see, like same as Google, we are going to see a reacceleration of the cloud business for Alibaba, and this is going to be translated into the stock price in the coming quarters. So definitely stay tuned on this one because Alibaba with their cloud business are going to be very dominant in China. And so the second part of this analysis and understanding of why Alibaba is going to be the main AI player in China is basically their Qwen models. So what we've seen from Alibaba, very similar to Google with Gemini and OpenAI with their family of all models, let's call it like this. Alibaba with their Qwen models has been a leading force in terms of developing models for Chinese companies and even for other Chinese AI startups. So they may not have had the same hype that we have seen behind companies like DeepSeek or like Minus or like Kimi, for example, but they have been the foundational model for all these different companies. And what we are seeing is that these Qwen models and all the different versions that are powering a lot of different tools are definitely leading and supporting the evolution and growth in China of AI. And so thanks to these models, what we are seeing is that the ecosystem created behind Alibaba's model is becoming more and more actually widespread so in China. So basically today, most of those AI startups in China are using the Qwen models from Alibaba, and it means that they're going to be actually taken into the Alibaba ecosystem and are going to move to Alibaba Cloud. So definitely the fact that they've been able to develop multi-models models like Qwen for videos, for example, we have seen also audio generation. So they are definitely one of the leading model providers in the market, similar to OpenAI or Anthropic, for example. And the fact that they are also open sourcing their models is really going to help them get a lot of adoption also outside of China in countries which are not 100% aligned with the US and that are not prevailing from US companies. So here we are talking massively about Southeast Asia. So we definitely are going to see a lot of Qwen model usage in those countries in Southeast Asia, because the Qwen models are actually leaders in a lot of different open source modeling. And so that's what we wanted to talk about, the Qwen models, and why is going to be one key differentiator for Alibaba to continue to be a leader in AI in China. We've seen that Alibaba is going to be a leader in terms of ecosystem, providing for a lot of different companies in China for AI. And so we've seen that thanks to their Ali Cloud and their Qwen models, they have built this whole ecosystem, which is going to allow them to dominate in terms of AI. But on top of that, they have another secret weapon, which is that thanks to their e-commerce business and their basically like cash pile that they have thanks to this business, they are going to be able to provide AI chips to their customers, and either from NVIDIA with their H20 or from the Ascend series from Huawei. And what we can see is that thanks to their basically funds that they have actually coming from their business, but also like from the financing or the global markets, I would say, they are definitely going to be able to provide for the AI industry in China, and they're going to be able to reinvest in this business thanks to the performance that they are seeing in the e-commerce business. So definitely this is a big advantage and a big moat for Alibaba, the fact that they have a lot of resources that they can reinvest in terms of AI growth. And I think that nobody in China is able to do that at the moment. And also, except from the US hyperscalers, I don't think that anyone in the world are able to do that today at this level. So definitely Alibaba, thanks to their resources, they are going to be able to grow even more and provide for AI growth in China. The fourth and last reason why Alibaba is definitely going to dominate and be a leader in AI in China is something which is actually overlooked by a lot of investors and a lot of people, is basically that they have been invested in the best AI startup in China. So I made a video about the 6 Little Dragons of Hangzhou, so you can check it out. I will put it here or here. And definitely the fact that they have been able to invest very early in this startup are going to provide a lot of returns, first as investors, but also like generate a lot of usage and compute from Ali Cloud. So the fact that they have been able to actually support a whole ecosystem of terms of startups and invest in them is that we are going to see in the coming years a lot of returns on these investments. And when we talk about companies like Unitree, for example, where Alibaba is invested, we are talking about huge companies in the making, and there are going to be a lot of huge returns for Alibaba investors just coming from this small investment. So definitely a very big win for Alibaba here, and that's why we're going to see that Alibaba is going to be really the company that is going to lead AI in China, and that is not to be overlooked. So you have it. So Alibaba definitely a leader in AI in China, and this is going to continue. We are going to see a lot of growth in China coming from AI for a lot of different companies, and Alibaba is going to power that definitely. So thanks to their cloud infrastructures, thanks to their families of models with Qwen, thanks to the fact that they have a lot of resources to reinvest into the growth of the industry, and also thanks to the fact that they have been a very great investors for a lot of different AI startups in China. So definitely, I think that Alibaba has demonstrated that this is the name in terms of AI in China, and you should definitely check it out. And if you're interested in all the news about the Japan, China, and US markets, so feel free to subscribe to my channel and check my other videos, and I see you in another one. Bye!